everyone. Happy Thursday. And we're going to jump right into my mini training here. I want you to get hired if you are actively looking for your next role, or maybe you want that next great role to really stretch you. Maybe you're not actively looking, but still you want to be connected with that role. How is it going to happen? You have to stand out because there's many people that are in the job market right now. I hear it from you all the time. I always have phone calls with new connections, and the people that are actively looking are telling me that there's a ton of candidates that are in the job market. I actually got to see a recruiter that I had worked with for a while. She's great. She's got lots of experience in the market, and had asked her what she thought of the market right now. She said it's very hot. There's a lot going on. But yeah, there are a lot of marketing and salespeople that are looking right now. So, and you guys, especially, you're my target audience. Although a lot of what I'm covering today can help anyone who is looking for their next role. So, and I want to help you with that. So we'll jump right into it. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, just really quick, I'm Christine Kidder-Graves. I'm an executive career and mindset coach, and I focus on marketing and sales executives specifically. However, a lot of what I teach can help, other executives as well. But I love LinkedIn, and I'm really committed to helping you, providing you help to help you with your career. So let me get right into it. So again, my topic for today is, for you to get hired, you need to stand out and you need to be you. You need to embrace how you are different. And that's how you're going to get hired. But I also have my 3 C's. My 3 C's are my 3-step approach for you to get this done. All right. And hopefully they are easy for you to remember. So the very first C that we'll go ahead and jump right into is to be clear. To get clear. If you're not clear right now, then you need to get clear. And I have some easy things for you to do that will help you to get clear. Okay. So the main question that you need to be clear on, that you need to be able to answer, is, what is your brand? What's your brand? If you can't define your brand easily, how are you supposed to communicate it to other people? And you need to be able to communicate it right away. You need to be able to communicate it, just naturally and comfortably, confidently. Those things are really important. So if you have any doubts with that, and you can also ask yourself this question. And if we did a career clarity call, I probably asked you this question too. If you haven't done that call with me and we're connected, we should do it, because that will help our connection to be a better connection. And then also I can help you get better clarity on your brand. But the question that I ask is, how do you rate your clarity in your brand on a scale from 1 to 10? And I want you to be as close to a 10 as possible. Now, nobody is going to be totally perfect, but if you can get as close to that, that's a good thing to aspire to. So ask yourself, what is your clarity in that? And then if you had to describe your brand, and here's a good exercise for you to try to describe your brand in 12 words or less. What would you say? What would be the adjectives that you would say? What would be the nouns that you would use? Like, are you a connector? Are you a collaborator? What are those words that you would use to describe you? Sorry, I'm having some throat issues here. But I'm just clearing. I think I have a little laryngitis coming on. But anyway, okay. So think about those. If you had to describe your brand, how would you do it in 12 words or less? And if you're still stuck with you, I have something else you can do to help you with that. Think about the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Who do you spend the most time with? There's that saying that we're most like the 5 people that we spend, the most time with. So ask those 5 people for 5 words to describe you. It's an easy assignment, just 5 words to describe you. And that should give you more information. And, for our purposes here, we're talking about communicating your brand in your career. you know, you can certainly ask people in your personal life, because you're not just a robot. You're not just someone who works all the time, hopefully. But you also want to have some work people in there so you can get their perspective about the work that you do. That is important as well. So take that approach, ask them, and that should help you to with that first C of being clear. Because again, if you're not clear on your brand, then when you're trying to communicate it to people, you're actually going to be confusing. I mean, think about it. Like you as a consumer, when you're out there in the world and people are trying to sell you stuff, and some messages are super confusing. It's like, I have no idea what they're trying to sell me. What are they doing? So you don't want to be like that. You need to be clear. Okay. So yeah. Oh, and also too, I did have one other thing too to help you. Another hint. If after doing that exercise with the 5 people in your life that you spend the most time with, if you need more information, I really like the Clifton Strengths Finder assessment, and that's something that I use in my work with my clients. And I'm a big believer in, even with my connections, treating them well as if they were clients, because again, I want to provide you with value. So, but that's an awesome assessment that will give you a wealth of information on your strengths, which are the foundation. They're the pillars of your brand. So give that a try too, to have more information. Okay. And then if you do identify your strengths, a good way to simplify it and work on that brand clarity for yourself, you can take your strengths and think about what are your brand stories that those strengths are the center of. Okay. For example, if you're strategic, that's one of your top 5 strengths. What's your best story that communicates how you use that strategic strength? You want to give me the strength. You want to give me the specific task that you use the strength on. You also want to give me the action that you took. And then the last thing is the result. What was the result that you were able to achieve by using that strength? Okay, so that's important. And that the STAR, that is star. So that's, I just gave you. And I actually have a worksheet for that. So we can always try to put that in the comments for you as another resource. But this is all to help you just with that first C of getting clarity on on being clear. I'm being clear in your brand, because again, if you're not clear, how are you supposed to communicate it to people? Okay. All right. So I got to keep on moving here. So that was a lot on the first C, but that again, it's super important because you don't want to confuse people. That's not a good thing. Okay. And all this work that we're doing to help you to be clear on your brand helps with the second C, which is communicate. You have to communicate. You have to do this. And there's a variety of ways that you do it, but you have to communicate your brand. You can't just keep it to yourself, because if you don't communicate it, no one's going to know. It's that simple. How do you communicate? What are the best ways for you to communicate your brand? In your LinkedIn profile. That is the number one best way to do it. Think of your LinkedIn profile as your landing page. If someone bumps into you at the grocery store, or you do apply for a role, or you even reach out to someone on LinkedIn, you really like this company, you're trying to connect with a hiring manager, which is really the best way. You don't want to just apply for a job and hope that they're going to call you. No, that does not work, because then you blend in with all the other resumes that they've received. You need to connect with people. You need to communicate with them. So, but also too, when you're reaching out to them, what is the first thing that they're going to do? Like when someone reaches out to you, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to look at their LinkedIn profile. All right. And my poll for this week on Tuesday was basically asking people, and it's still running, by the way, if you want to vote in it, we can put it in the comments as well. But it's like, how long do you take when you look at someone's LinkedIn profile? How long do you take to read it? Probably not very long. I know I don't take very long. And it's your chance to make a first impression. But I would say you have about 4 seconds, if that, okay, 4 seconds to at least grab their attention. And then if you get them to linger on your profile to read a little bit more, that's really good. But you've got to catch them in the first 4 seconds, and you've got to lead with what makes you different. All right. Don't have me have to pull it out of you. Don't have it buried within your LinkedIn profile. That does not work. You have to have it, lead with it, have it in your headline right away. And that's why I asked you that question of try to describe your brand in 12 words or less, because we only have so much room in our LinkedIn profile. Although LinkedIn is awesome, LinkedIn gives us a lot more room than just 12 words. And there's a variety of ways that in your headline you can describe your brand, which is something I love working on with my clients. But so yeah, so you really need to lead with your headline. That's like the number one way, because we have this hashtag now of TLDR, too long, don't read. Everybody, just picture everyone that you're trying to communicate and connect with to land a role. Picture them as constantly being inundated with emails, with texts, with phone calls. Picture them trying to hail a cab on the street while they're having a conversation with someone, and then someone's also blowing up their phone with text messages. Okay. It's true. We all have that at times. I'm sure you've had those moments in your life too. So that's why we have to get to the point. We really do. And you need to lead with that in your headline, in your LinkedIn profile. Okay. So that's the number one way to communicate it. And then the next important piece, like working your way down in your LinkedIn profile, your about section, because that's where you get to share your brand story. Okay. And that's a great way for me to get to know you. Most likely, I'm going to skim it. Okay. But I need you to make it really easy for me to read and digest. Okay. Now, right now, I'm being focused in this training. I'm being focused on the things that are searchable. Okay. Your LinkedIn headline, your about section, which I just mentioned, and then also to your experience section. Okay. Those are searchable. So when recruiters, hiring managers, CEOs, they are on LinkedIn and they're searching for the person who's going to fill their job, who's going to solve their problem of that job opening, they're using those keywords, and you want to come up, all right, in those. But please don't think that I'm discounting a great profile photo that really represents you, that's authentic to you. And also too, your LinkedIn banner photo, that's important as well. That's a free billboard that communicates your brand. I mean, you experience it again as a consumer. Think about the brands that you love. I'm sure you can think of like the feelings that they give you. All right. You love them for a reason. What are those feelings? So pictures are very powerful in communicating brand. Don't discount them. Don't make that mistake. So make sure that you feel that you like your profile photo, that it communicates the brand, it communicates your brand. It does the job. And if you're not sure, you can go to photofeeler.com and you can submit your LinkedIn photo for free to get feedback. I think it takes at least 2 to 3 days to get feedback on it. And it'll give you feedback for free. Now, I know Photo Feeler has other services that they may want to try to sell you, but I thought that you can still get feedback for free. Are you communicating confidence? Are you communicating intelligence, expertise, approachability? again, you want to know if your photo is communicating those things, because those are part of your brand. So just keep that in mind. Like, what is unique to you? What is it that you want to communicate in your brand? What's important? Okay, so also, I'm not trying to discount the resume, because your resume is important too. It has to communicate your brand again. And with your resume, especially, it's even more critical. Your LinkedIn profile needs to have it. But what are your specific results that you've achieved? The more quantitative you can be, the better. So that's important. And then the last thing that I really feel more people need to do on LinkedIn that they're not doing is they're not posting. You're not sharing your expertise, and that's another great way for you to communicate your brand. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. You don't have to do it every day. If you just start posting once a week and share your expertise, maybe you should use LinkedIn to get content, to be up to date on what's going on in the business world. So as you're reading content, all you need to do is take like 5-10 minutes a day. I don't think you have to take any more than 15 minutes if you don't want to. And if you see a story or something that resonated with you, share it and comment. I wouldn't just share a post. I want to know why you are sharing it. So comment on it and share it. Don't just share it, right? That's what I would like to see you do. So that's another great way for you to do that second C of communicating your brand. Okay. All right. And then my last C that I have for you is to connect, right? You have to be intentional with this. What do I mean by that? I want you to absolutely, if you are looking for a new role, or again, if you are someone who you're happy in your current role, but you're getting ready for what's next for you, this is really easy to do. This next thing that I want you to do is just make one new connection a day, and then reach out to one of your existing connections, one existing connection. And you can make it super easy by using the LinkedIn app on your phone. Most people use it on their phone, because it's a great app to use, and do that. So, and think about a time in your day. Like, if you have a set time every day, maybe lunchtime. I used to do it when I was commuting before the pandemic. But if I was on a train or a bus or whatever, or if I'm carpooling, maybe I'm taking 5-10 minutes to do that. But it's something that will help you, because think of your connections as a garden that can yield wonderful fruits and vegetables to you. But if you don't tend to that garden, it's going to have weeds. It's just not going, it's going to be neglected. And I don't want you to neglect your connections. It's really rewarding. You will find, you'll get rewards from that, and you'll feel good. It's a great way to feel good, by taking just a little bit of time. A great book that I feel drives the power of small habits, how powerful they are. It really drives that home, is Atomic Habits by James Clear. We often think that, oh, we have to go big or go home, but small habits are very, very powerful. And by you just implementing, just give it a try. So again, make one new connection and reach out to one existing connection and do that. And you might be like, well, Christine, how do I decide the new connection that I need to make? That you should have a target company list. That's what you should have. And that's one of the things that I work on with my clients. So, but I'm happy to help you further. If you found any of this helpful, I can help you some more. I'd love to give you some of, one-on-one attention, and especially if we're connected. If we're not connected, we should connect. I would love to do that. And then once we connect, we can do a career clarity call, because that way I can give you feedback right away on your LinkedIn profile and some things that you can do right away to make it better. So, because you want to be found, but you're not going to be found unless you highlight, you stand out, and you celebrate your differences. And that really starts with being clear on your brand. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching this training. I would love to see any comments that you have or questions, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.